Welcome back to My Vision News. Four news stories. First one is from Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital, where a journalist has been arrested. He was arrested a few months ago, then released on bail. Again, he is in prison. Who is he? The journalist criticized Addis Ababa mayor a few days ago. Secondly, Oromia region of Ethiopia, where we know that in Vallega, especially East Vallega, hundreds were killed a few days ago. In ethnic violence, Oromo, Amhara violence, Ethiopian National Defense Force intervened. Oromia regional forces were told to withdraw from the areas of conflict, and now reportedly, Ethiopian National Defense Force is trying to disarm local Amharas, ethnic Amharas living in Vallega. Thirdly, was two news stories from Tigray. Firstly, some Tigrayan activists, pro-government activists, pro-Tigray regional government activists are sharing their concerns about some developments happening in Tigray. Tigray's land is being sold and it is being offered for lease. Tenders are being offered. Who is going to buy land or acquire it on lease while there is crisis in Tigray? It means there are some people in Tigray who still have lots of money, perhaps. What did this activist say? And lastly, mobile network was suspended around Shire. It was restored a few days ago, but last night it was suspended, and several bank branches are going to be opened in Tigray, in Adwa, Aksom, Shire, Makale. Ethiopian Communication Ministry shared details of the cities where around 24 Ethiopian commercial bank branches going to restart their operations. Firstly, viewers, Solomon Shumye has been arrested again. Solomon Shumye, a journalist, works at a YouTube channel, Gabejano as well. He was arrested in Yika subcity, Addis Ababa on Saturday. This is the second time that Solomon Shumye has been arrested this year. A few months ago, he was arrested, then he went in prison for some time, and he was released on bail. So again, he is in prison. His family has confirmed his arrest. Why was he arrested? Reportedly, we know that recently we have seen dispute, an old dispute, but again we saw this dispute arising in Addis Ababa, at Addis Ababa schools. Dispute was over hoisting of Oromia flag, singing of Oromia region's anthem at Addis Ababa schools. We saw clashes, some students were injured. Some students, teachers, parents were arrested. Dozens are in prison. Police intervened to control the situation. Solomon Shumye criticized Addis Ababa mayor. Solomon Shumye was heard saying that Addis Ababa mayor should be removed. Because Addis Ababa mayor has been saying, has been supporting the hoisting of the flag and singing of Oromia's anthem at Addis Ababa schools. Perhaps that is why Solomon Shumye has been arrested. Hard times for Ethiopian journalists, viewers. Maskarama Bira, basically educationist, I think a lecturer, was arrested this week. Solomon Shumye arrested. Both were arrested a few months ago, then released on bail, and now again arrested. Nathaniel Gacho, Wolaita Times journalist, has fled Ethiopia. He is seeking asylum in Germany. And last month, Tamrat Nagra left Ethiopia. He had to leave Ethiopia. He was released after imprisonment of a few months, and he then fled Ethiopia. So hard times for Ethiopian journalists and activists. Guma Sakata was arrested, Oromo activist, a few days ago. In both Oromia and Amhara regions, we are seeing that dissenting voices are being silenced. Journalists, activists who are allegedly fueling the conflict, who are allegedly fueling hatred, are being arrested. Journalists deny the charge. They say they are trying to criticize the government for all the right reasons. But government is not ready to tolerate any criticism. Secondly, viewers, Oromia region of Ethiopia, where we know that in Velega a few days ago there were ethnic clashes. Hundreds were killed, and some say majority of the kill was Oromos, though some Amharas, Tigrayans killed too. One of the causes of the conflict was arming of ethnic Amharas in Velega. We know that ethnic Amharas are being armed. Why? Because they say that those who are arming them, they say that Oromo Liberation Army, Oromia government forces, they attack ethnic Amharas in Velega. So for self-defense, they must be armed. That is why they're being armed. OLA says that Fano fighters are setting up training camps. They are training, they're arming local ethnic Amharas. And that has been a cause of confrontation between ethnic Amharas and Oromo forces, Oromo Liberation Army, recently. And we saw that around a week ago, there were clashes in East Velega, which led to hundreds killed. And then Ethiopian National Defense Force intervened. It entered East Velega. It entered Kiramo. It entered Engergoten. Oromia Special Force, Oromia Regional Force, they were told to withdraw from these areas where there was conflict. Amhara forces were told to withdraw as well. Now, reportedly, Ethiopian National Defense Force is trying to disarm ethnic Amharas. And this is what is being demanded by Oromia regional government too. Oromia regional government does not want another OLA in Oromia. It is already fighting OLA, though some say regional government supports OLA. But obviously, regional government will not allow ethnic Amharas to be armed. They are being armed. Now, ENDF is intervening. A regional government tried to disarm ethnic Amharas in Velega, but that led to confrontation. Forces from Amhara region entered Velega, and that led to confrontation between forces from Amhara and Oromia regions. Now, ENDF is now trying to control the situation by disarming ethnic Amharas. It's difficult to say how many have been disarmed, how many have been arrested, but reportedly, Ethiopian National Defense Force is trying to control the situation by disarming ethnic Amharas. Resistance is there. It's not an easy task for Ethiopian National Defense Force to disarm all ethnic Amharas in Velega. You know, the parties in the Oromia region of Ethiopia, opposition parties, they are against arming of ethnic Amharas in Velega. But groups in Amhara, they say that Amharas have right to self-defense, and Ethiopian National Defense Force should be permanently positioned and stationed in Velega in the form of a command post, because ethnic Amharas are in danger. Their lives in danger. They have suffered in the past. They were victims of massacres in the past too. ENDF is there in Velega, in parts of Velega, and Oromia forces told to withdraw. Now, ENDF is in charge. Can it disarm ethnic Amharas? That remains to be seen. Campaign is underway reportedly. Thirdly, viewers, some activists from Tigray, pro-Tigray government, not pro-Ethiopian government, they have shared their concerns about some developments in Tigray. These activists are claiming that Oromia regional government is selling state land. It is granting land to buyers on lease as well. Tenders for lease for sale have been opened by Tigray regional government. People are buying land, firstly. Secondly, the activists say that illegal money brokers are in abundance in Tigray. People are trying to clean the money which they acquired through illegal means. Question is, who has cash in Tigray to buy land? People were suffering. They did not have access to their deposited money with the banks, Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. People died of hunger. They could not withdraw money because there was no banking service in Tigray. If some people still have money in Tigray to buy land being offered by Tigray regional government, of course, questions will be asked. Where did they get this money from? Did they steal public money? Did they steal money meant for the people of Tigray? Are they members of Tigray regional government, members of TPLF? Do they have backing of some influential figures in Tigray? So questions are being asked. Having said that, Tigray regional government is in need of cash. It needs money. No government can function without cash, without money. But is it the right solution to this crisis of shortage of money that Tigray's land should be sold? Shouldn't Tigray try to open up businesses? It should engage Ethiopian government for start of economic activity between Tigray and Amhara, Tigray and Afar, Tigray and other neighboring areas. But Tigray's land is being sold, tenders being opened. That is why these activists are criticizing. Of course, questions will be asked. Where did the buyers get money from? Secondly, mobile phone service was restored in and near Shire a few days ago. And suddenly, last night, the mobile phone service was suspended. It's not clear what was the reason. Government has not said a word so far. Was it partial and temporary suspension due to some technical issues, or some elements in Tigray have tried to cut off this service? It's not clear. But reportedly, mobile phone service remained suspended in and near Shire for hours. Banking service is being resumed, it's being restored in the Tigray region. Today, Ethiopian Communication Ministry confirmed that preparations are underway to reopen 24 branches of Ethiopian Commercial Bank in the Tigray region. Shalamvit Kasa is from Ethiopian Communication Ministry. And he said in Mekelle, Adwa, Aksom, Shire, preparations are underway and 24 branches of the commercial bank are going to be reopened in coming days. I think 2 days ago we reported that banking service is going to start in Mekelle. It seemed that apart from Mekelle, in Shire, Adwa, Aksom as well, banking service could be restored in coming days, which should be restored because the agreement was signed, peace agreement, around 45 days ago. And in the last 45 days, banking service could not be restored in Tigray. How much repair work is needed to restore banking service in Tigray? I am unable to understand. Of course, if you want to restore electricity supply in Tigray, it needs lots of repairing, lots of maintenance. But for restoration of banking service, you don't need this much repair work. But banking service still not resumed in Mekelle, in Shire, in Addis Ababa. It means that pace of implementation of peace deal is slow, definitely slow. On both sides, Tigray side as well, TPLF and Ethiopian Federal, both sides are slow in terms of implementing the peace deal. Thank you for watching.